Welcome to Bruce TV Test 1. Just trying to see what the bandwidth's like here, whether we can cope with streaming. Mr.
Hello.
Emery, say good morning.
Good morning.
We're just doing the calibration flights. We have Christophe from Belgium out there, zooming around. We have Steve Roberts, he's up first. Waiting. Say hi, Steve. Steve, say hi. Excellent. Oh, interview with Steve. Interview with Steve coming up. Interviews time.
Really?
This is Bruce TV.
Hello, Bruce.
Hello.
Hello, world.
How was last night's sleep?
It was very enjoyable sleeping with Bruce. I was very scared.
Did I snore? That's the big question that everyone's asking.
In a little bit.
Only a little bit. Did it annoy you at all?
No, it's fine. I was so tired. I was just...
So yeah, here we are in Surin, F3C Euro Heli Series, France. First event for us this year. First of many. It's going to be a long season driving across Europe. I think we're Austria in a few weeks' time. We're going to Switzerland. We're going to Denmark, the European Championships. If the weather could be like this, we'll all be happy. That's a bit of a UX going kind of wrong. Excellent. It's a very nice club here. They are the Fédération Française d'Aéromodellisme. Is that plot up there? Oh, Arnaud. It's interview time. Arnaud Poyet, part-time model. He's flown with the best.
Thank you.
He looks 20, but he's actually about 70. We have Remy.
Hello.
A good and long-term pilot. You've been flying F3C for many years.
Yeah.
I mean, when did you start? You kick off?
Competition in 2008, I think. A long time ago.
A lovely range of machines.
2,000 flights each.
2,000 flights each.
Yeah.
You fly way too much, man.
In 15 years, in 13 years, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Crikey. I don't think I've flown 2,000 flights in my life.
Never know.
So, Arnaud, how do you feel? You're obviously you're prime #1 guy this weekend. You got all the French judges backing you. Not saying there's anything there, but you know, you feeling confident?
I hope.
You hope. Okay.
The weather is perfect, so I think we have a good time here.
Yeah, it's a lovely place.
Yes,
It's such a nice,
nice.
and the quality of flying from yesterday. Yeah, everyone is on form. There's no lame ducks. Well, maybe myself, other than me. Yeah, it's going to be a good competition.
Yeah, thank you.
So we have Fernando
Hello.
from Spain. Hola.
Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Todo bien? Todo bien.
It's okay.
Nervioso.
Good luck. Yeah, we have obviously French pilots here. We have the English pilots here. We have the Spanish. We don't have any German pilots for the first time in a long time. But I think that's because... Hang on, so let's try and wrap this thing around. Ah, it's me, look. Hey. I think it's because there's a competition in Germany and a competition in Austria this weekend, which kind of sucks up the DAC region. There's also a competition in Norway this weekend, so all the Scandinavians are up there. So, yeah, it's just... Oh, we've got some Belgians here as well. No Dutch. Yeah, that's about it. So, what other information do we have? It's a gloriously hot day. It really is beautiful for me. Can you see the sun behind me? How this thing works. It's very hard to see what I'm doing because the sun's obviously blinding the screen, so I can't see what it's pointing at. I'll stick you back to that, and we'll go and see Steve do some preparation. Or maybe see what the judges are saying about that calibration flight. Oh, we have an organizer. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Votre nom?
Sebastian.
Sebastian. This is Sebastian. And you are here. Oh, you are on the clock.
Yeah.
The chronograph. So yeah, the rules are very strict now. We have a certain amount of time to prepare, certain amount of time to fly. If you go outside those times, you get very serious down marks, possibly zeros. Yeah, there's some new rules that have just popped in the last few minutes. Which I think they're supposed to come in June, but the competition here is taking them on board straight away. And there's some real nasty penalties if you do things at the wrong time. Like if you call a maneuver too close to where the maneuver starts, you can get a -2, -3, which seriously hits your score. There's certain climbs have to be certain heights above other climbs. Yeah, there's just loads of new bits and pieces to worry about. Just what we need when we're stressing ourselves. Competing. Steve's obviously been to the patch and gone, yeah, bugger that. The wind is blowing inwards, which is never nice. Yesterday it was blowing outwards, so practice was compensating for the models being blown away. Now the models will be blown towards us. So something else to worry about. This is our start box. The model must not leave this circle. Oh yeah, and don't forget, the batteries must be disconnected before the model goes behind the judge line when the flight finishes, which is another new rule. And that could be a 0 for your whole round if you don't do that. Obviously for safety, because you know these things pack a high current punch. Steve's flying JR this weekend. This is a machine he's had for, I believe, 10 years. Just be older. So this has been interesting, going back to old style mechanics. I'll get out his way. I'll go and find Ian's calling for you. Yep, okay, I'll try and find Ian. But Ian's also kind of organising this, so he's a multi-talented lad. So that little box down there, that's where all the scores have been handled. I think that's where Ian is at this minute. I won't keep this video too long. It's just an overview and just to check that this Bruce TV stuff works where we're located. The signal looks pretty strong. This man here sells liquids. He's going to make a lot of money today. A few of the Spanish using the fixed wings frames for their kit. And oddly enough, these two people are British. But they live here and they're part of this club. Your name, sir?
Mark.
Hello, Mark. What are you doing here?
Scoring.
This is Bruce TV. This is live streaming to the world. Your name?
I'm Kate. Good morning, all.
Good morning. I'm saying that obviously for the people. So yeah, so they've got computers. They're doing all the scoring. The scores are being manually done today.
They've been manually done today. There's also been a test one on the internet as well.
Okay.
Just to check it's all working and
just to qualify it.
Yes.
Okay.
We're all good.
Well, have a good day. Lovely weather for it. Yes, I'm up.
Glorious.
I'm up about 5th,
Oh,
so I think the sun's going to be just where I don't want it to be. For doing it.
it's nice to see the sun every once in a while.
Yeah, it is, just not in the middle of a competition. Say the way. It's not raining.
Bon courage.
Yeah, nice people in there. Okay, so I'll carry on. If Steve is about to fly, I'll carry on. If there's still judges discussing stuff. Yeah, looks like Ian, Steve. I don't know where Ian went. Anyway. If you're wondering why the format's vertical, we're in portrait mode, it's because for some reason it doesn't allow me to do landscape anymore. It complains. So all streaming has to be vertical. Apologies. For those unaware, what we're doing here is just a couple of hovering manoeuvres and a number of aerobatic manoeuvres. And it's like figure skating. Everything has to be certain speed, certain height, certain time stopped. Everything has to be the right shape, the right size, and the right place in the air. So just lift-offs and landings can lose your points. It has to lift off dead straight, it has to go to 2 meters, and it has to stop. And it has to wait there for a second or so, and then it has to move to wherever it needs to move to. You'll catch up as we get on. Everybody flies exactly the same things. And that way I know exactly what's going to happen next, because it's the same thing for everyone. And they're off. Yeah, so much for keeping this short, I know.
Hi.
So the model has to take off and climb to 2 meters and stop. It then has to fly diagonally backwards while performing a half pirouette. Okay. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think it's doing this backwards. The schedule has changed this year. Yeah, okay. The schedule's changed this year, so it's all kind of confusing for everyone. And as soon as you all head there and start flying, the stress levels and your concentration goes through the roof. Okay, that's a lesson for everyone. Second manoeuvre, model climbs to 4.5 meters. The centre of the circle to the flag, left or right, is 5 meters, so you can kind of use that as a judge. So at 4.5 meters, you then have to fly down to 2 meters above the flag he's aiming for. It's called, what's this maneuver called? I don't know. It's a strange shape. You now have to go forward, climb 4.5 degree angle, 2.5 meters forward, 2.5 meters up, and then back 2.5 meters back, 2.5 meters up. So you're now at 7 meters off the flag. You're now diagonally across the whole course, clipping the 4.5 meter point in the centre and going down to the flag on the left, down to 2 meters. Stop. And then repeat that backwards. So you now have to go backwards and upwards, 2.5 meters back, 2.5 meters up, and then 2.5 meters up and 2.5 meters forwards. Getting back up to 7 meters. From here he has to fly backwards down to the 4.5 meter point. And then from there it's a straight descent down back into the circle. We're holding, I think, 4 rounds of this today. So this round obviously will be Steve's throwaway round because of the mistake in the first manoeuvre. So now aerobatics. So off he goes. Now, because this is portrait, this is going to be more of a pain than normal. Because I can't see it on the screen. So I'm just going to guess that I'm pointing in the right direction. So we're looking for 2 candles. A candle is a vertical stall with a backflip. Here's the first one. then a half loop, and then the other candle. And out. Super. Right, next manoeuvre is a loop with two 540-degree stall turns. They're not stall turns, they're travelling turns, so it has to kind of do half the manoeuvre on the way up and half on the way down. So there's the loop. Back up again vertically. There's the turn. Perfect. And then another one on the other side. Again, travelling for the first half of the pirouettes and folding for the next. And out. Beautiful. Next manoeuvre is a manoeuvre which just brought in this year, and it's two loops, which sounds easy, but one has to be to the left, one has to be to the right. They have to touch in the centre line. So here's the first loop. Sorry. UX. Loops are next. UX is as it is, you can see. It's kind of a stally, twisty. It's like a U and an X in a manoeuvre. I'll make a crap commentator, don't I? I mean, I'm flying this soon. I should know what I'm talking about. Okay, two loops coming. Like I was saying, the first loop has to just basically touch the centre line on the way up. And then the second loop will touch the centre line on its way down. There's the first loop. There's the second loop. Again, apologies if I'm missing. I just can't see the screen, so I'm just guessing this is working. I'm sure you're just seeing a dot whizzing around. Right, rolls. A roll reversal. So you have to do a half roll in one direction, then a full roll in the other direction, where the upright part goes through the centre line, and then roll out. Very nice.
Inverted umbrella.
Inverted umbrella. So this is where we up the centre line. At the top, we stall. We then perform a half loop backwards. We then do a full half loop back up the stall. Then do a little half loop backwards, back to the centre line. Dive, dive, dive. Pull out. Complete. Now the last manoeuvre is a engine off 180-degree auto rotation. So he has to turn off the bow and glide down while performing a gentle arc to the centre circle. Engines off, auto rotating down, very little wind into the circle kind. There's two circles and you get obviously high scores depending whether in the centre circle or bridging the centre and the outer, or just in the outer. So it's out of 8. 8 points instead of 10 points. And so concludes the first round of F3C. Now I think I'll leave it there. I'm going to chat to Steve about that first manoeuvre. But obviously not on camera because he's probably going to kick himself. So catch you guys later. And welcome back to Bruce TV. It's Saturday morning. No, pretty lunchtime now. I've just flown. And now Ian Emery, he's up for his first round attempt. How did I do? Well, thank you for asking. I did really well. So I'm very impressed with my first round. I'll probably blow it on the next rounds, but currently I'm in a very good position. So let's see how Ian gets on. Get behind the judges and sit down. And make the video a bit more stable. Steve Roberts is calling. And this is the first time Ian's flown this machine in competition. So let's see what goes on here. Can you zoom on? System allows zooming? I really should have looked into this a bit more. Oh yeah, look, I can zoom. Zoom out a bit. That works. Okay, so unlike the last Bruce TV, this round shows it done properly. It's a diagonal upwards to 7 meters. It's then a half kind of loop with a full pirouette in it. The pirouette points have to line up with certain markers. Go away, Buzzy Bee. Line back up to the 7 meter mark. As a pilot, you can kind of judge this by the distance between the flags. It's 10 meters, and from the flag to the center is 5 meters. So you use your brain while you're flying to try and estimate these heights. Back to the 2 meter height mark in the center, and let's descend into the circle. And the judges are looking for any kind of deflection, any input from the pilot, and they'll all be added together and taken off his score. So up to 4.5 meters. This is the twin tail, I think they call this. From the 4.5 meter point, you come backwards to the 2 meter point. So you're descending at a 30-degree angle. Now you're going to start doing some 45-degree angle climbs. Up 2.5 meters, across 2.5 meters. Stop back over the flag at 7 meters. So you've climbed another 2.5 meters and gone back 2.5 meters. Now cut right through the course, descending from 7 meters down to 2 meters. So you should be bisecting that 4.5 meter mark where you were hovering. And ideally, the main shaft should be over the flag, but you kind of give it a few inches leeway either side before you start deducting half points. So another climb up to 7.5 meters, and then descend back to the center to 4.5 meters. Like I said at the beginning, this is just like watching paint dry. It's like figure skating. It's so hard to do, and it's very rewarding as a pilot. Possibly not entertainment. Oh, half a point, maybe a point for hesitation. So with the hovering complete, it's now aerobatics. So Ian flies the opposite direction to everyone else when he leaves the patch, which he can do because he likes to do a run, a flat and level run through the course before he starts. So he's gone downwind, doing a turnaround maneuver. He'll line up, fly past himself as a free pass. Look at those aeroplane contrails, wow. Cool first maneuver. 2 candles. He's going to pull up vertical, perform a stall turn backwards, half tumble back, and then a half loop through the center of the course. Another stall, another drop backwards, another tumble. Well, it's a backflip really, I suppose. And then pull out. And the entry and exit heights have to be the same, and everything has to be consistent. Otherwise you get downmarked, like I was in my first round. Next maneuver is the loop with the 2 540 tail turns, I'm going to call. Here's the loop. Slowly over the top, shape. Back up again, so you can do another loop in the same place, but don't. You go to a stall turn, you do a tail turn. You know the tail turn's correct is when the fuselage is horizontal at the stall. So it's done there. When it's facing in horizontal, that's where the stall should be. And then the rest of the tail turn is done as it descends. Again, I apologise for the video if I'm not pointing in the right direction, but I just can't see the screen. Next move is UX. Right. He comes into the course, he pulls up 45-degree angle, he does a half roll. He stalls at that angle, does a push flip to the vertical, performs a half loop. So that's the U bit, and the X obviously is the straight bits. So he does another push flip, and then comes down diagonally, inverted, which is scary as hell. Half roll. Got out. Very nice. Now the two loops. First loop on the right hand side of the course, with the vertical going through the centre line. Keep it round. Very hard to do with a helicopter, of course. Do the second loop the other side of the course, and try and get your descent to be on the centre line. You might have just missed. Right, now we have half and full. Yeah, it's basically a half roll to the inverted, and then a full roll going vertical through the centre line. Half roll, full roll, and then a half roll back. Complete. Now the inverted umbrella. So you got the vertical, which is like the umbrella inverted. Yeah, so you got the shaft. Stall, then do a backward half loop, little one, to the edge of where you would have done a full loop. Perform a half loop, obviously the bottom half of the loop, up the other side, and now do a stall again. Now do a little half loop back to the centre. So the ball should be vertical on the centre line. Oh, that sun's a killer. Pull out. Right. Now, like I say, this is the first time Ian's flown this machine in competition, and we don't get the chance to practice auto rotations. So here comes auto rotation. Best of luck. The motor. Perform the turn. Model should be turning all the way down to the ground. It shouldn't come in straight like the current. Woohoo! Yep, no brakes. There is no wind here at all. And with auto rotations, you tend to use the wind to slow you down. So, it is what it is. I did the same thing. I went careering past the centre line as well. Typically in the wind, you end up being short, and you end up down there somewhere. People who can fly properly, they get it into the centre circle. So that was a good round. Ian probably beaten me because we made the same mistake with the auto. For the first time ever in my life, I'm beating Steve, but Steve did get a 0 for his first manoeuvre because he did it wrong. And they all bounce back, I'm sure. We all get, like, out of the 4 rounds, 1 we throw away. So that's his throwaway round. And if the wind picks up, I'll probably use a windy round as a throwaway. We have to ignore the wind. If the wind makes the model bounce, you get downlocked. It's just the way it is. Oh, who's next? We have a Spaniard. I apologise, I don't know his name. I'll have to interview him sometime. And that's our little competition scene. If you've got any requests for stuff to take videos off, feel free to enter it in the message section. Yeah, and with that, I will sign off. Oh, it's that time again. This is the 3rd video today, live streaming from the Euro Heady Series France event in Surin. For a change, let's get a non-English pilot. So this is Arnaud Poyet. Arnaud is a legend. He flies F3A at world level, he flies F3C at world level. He's a rather nice chap, and he is probably going to win this competition. So we should see pretty much the best flying possible out of Arnaud. Oh, sitting down, trying to get this video stable. Again, apologies for it being portrait, but my phone says it will not accept landscape when streaming on Facebook. This is Father Jean-Louis calling for him.
Schedule. Ouais. Là-dessus, combien? C'est 10. T'écoutes pas quand on te parle, hein? C'est vrai? Non, non, c'est du malade, pardon, mais j'avais envie parce qu'il y a quand même une belle ligne droite. Oui, c'est bon pour toi. C'est un peu le moins grave. Parce que si tu comprends, le reflet, le rond, il est là. Donc, on va savoir c'est branché. Regarde la ligne droite est trop loin. Marquer son programme dès que oui, moi, en côté, c'est bon. Hein? Bah, tu as dit que tu l'as fait, c'est la fête. J'ai m'a dit encore un bon vol.
Okay, that was Arnaud. Right behind him is our Steve Roberts. He's also a contender to win this, so it'll be interesting to see the back-to-back flights.
Hi. Now. Double candle with descending flame. Oui, tout à fait. You act with push to go. Simply. Opposite half and full inverted bow. Now. Simply. The inverted umbrella. Có phải đó, vì thế xin bật. Ê, hồi ai này? Ai xin quá? Xin bật anh gì? Xin nhau không? Đi qua đi, trong tí. Oui, donc,
Et juste filé?
Daniel, Daniel, je me suis parlé parce qu'il a atterri sur la lutte et qu'il a séché, donc pour ça je lui parlais.
Ouais.
C'est ça, mais il est l'axe rotor et côté c'est à 12 intérieur.
Ouais, mais qu'est-ce qu'il lui fait voir? Je crois que c'est toi. Je crois que c'est toi qui. C'est toi qui lui fais pas.
Ouais. Bah, c'est trop masculin.
C'est quoi, c'est ça?
Il préférait une juge.
C'est pas mal, ça, hein?
Ouais, c'est le moins.
Ah, c'est fermé, ça.
Fernando. Numéro 2.
Okay. Bruce TV, day 2. It's kind of wet, it's kind of windy. We're doing F schedule today, which is far more technical than the P schedule we were flying yesterday. It has more sort of inverted components to the manoeuvres. Here we have Arnaud Poyet, who is going to win this competition, doing his first round of F. Now I've just flown, and it was the first time I've actually really tried to fly the whole schedule, so semi-appalling. Hopefully Arnaud will do a better job. The ground's wet, so I can't really sit down, so I'll just stand here and try not to move things too much. I'll try and focus. Right, so he takes off, his first manoeuvre. He then has to go nose in and perform a half arc up to the flag, 7 meters up. To the flag, so it's half pirouette, half arc, up to 7 meters. He now has to fly half loops backwards, but always turning nose into himself. So that's the first half loop, the centre line, and back up 7 meters. There's supposed to be a 2.5 meter semicircle. Now he'll turn and back nose in, so the model's facing him, and then go back up again, 7 meter point, over that flag. I mean, just look how good that is. He's just nailed that one. Right, so now he comes down to another quarter semicircle, turning nose into himself as he does that. Does so. That's the second line. This is supposed to be 2 meters, so it's kind of eye level plus 150, 200 meters. A lovely landing. Right, next manoeuvre is a pirouetting climb to 4.5 meters. Now he has to perform like an infinity sign, so it's like a label 8. He has to do so while doing a pirouette. So he flies backwards, does a quarter, flies back up over the flag, next quarter, and goes backwards, pirouettes nose in, into that quarter, and then turn back to the right, back to the centre line, back to the 4.5 metre point. And then he does the same thing, but on the other side, he has to change directions. So he's now turning clockwise. Quite a nice breeze, but it's kind of laminate, so it's quite smooth. Oh yeah, the full pirouette on the way down. Right, so that's the hovering out of the way. Now the aerobatics. This is where the fun starts. Like I said, this maneuver or this schedule is basically the fly-off schedule for the World or European Championships. So it's tricky. First maneuver is a kind of a candle up the centre line. You have to do a 360 pirouette. Half of it on the way up, half of it on the way down. Oh, this is tricky. Where is he gone? So freaking high. There he is. and then you have to do a front flip and pull out. I'm guessing this is not coming across too easy because it's now a dot again. This next manoeuvre is a Cuban 8, but he has to do it inverted with outside loops and half rolls on the crossovers. Where is he? He's there something. There's the half roll. Now he goes up to the first loop, over the top. Now he has to do a half roll on the way down, so he's inverted again. And a negative loop over that side. And another half roll, get inverted again. Full out inverted, and then a half roll to get up the right way again. Trust me, that's tricky. That is now followed by an inverted triangle. Entered inverted, with a roll at the top. Half roll, up one side, over the top, a full roll. Now push the nose over to come down inverted, flatten out, half roll. Okay, next manoeuvre, 3 rolls, where the centre one is in the opposite direction to the other 2. Nice thing is you can do roll either way, but you have to do 2 the same way and 1 the other. The helicopters tend to like rolling in one direction, so just added complexity. This is the first roll. The second roll is to be through the centre line. Third roll. Also, you can notice there's flags everywhere. They're all guidelines for the judges to see whether the pilot's in or out of the window. Final aerobatic manoeuvre is a inverted umbrella with half rolls. You can pull it up to the vertical. As he stalls, he does a half roll. He then goes backwards in a half arc, half loop. Now forwards into a positive half loop. To the centre line, back up again. Stall. Now a backwards half loop, a little one at the top. Climb higher. Do a half roll. And then pull out. Right, final manoeuvre is auto rotation, because this is the F schedule. So you start with a back tumble. So the helicopter has to go backwards tumble, then cut the engine. Now perform 3 sides of a box. That's the first side. Now flies crosswind, straight. Now flies towards the patch. Has to land it in the circle. Easy. So it's Arnaud Poyet, French F3C guy. He does F3C, F3A, he does a whole range of stuff. Full on, nice fella. And hot on his heels is our dear friend Steve Roberts, UK. Our national champion. It's a really good head-to-head. France v England here.
Le pilote ne se plante pas. Viens voir les bons.
Ah, vous avez raison pour le
Ouais. Quel programme?
C'est le programme inter.
Ah, d'accord.
Here comes Arnaud. Yay. Look at that beautiful model. Video? Video. Say hi to the world.
Hello.
Okay, back to Steve. So, the pilots and the crawlers will stand in a circle in the grass, 9 meters back from that centre circle. You can see in the distance there's a a centre line flaggy waving thing. Okay, first manoeuvre. As before, he takes off up to 2 meters. He now flies a backward half arc while doing a pirouette, climbing to 7 meters over the flag. So when I say over the flag, it's kind of 2 or 3 inches either side of the main shaft. It's the target. He now does sort of these little 2.5 meter radius circles. All times he has to turn towards himself. So the model must always turn those in to the pilot. Where's that flag though? There's flag. Pretty good. Another half pirouette on the way down. Back to 2 meters over the centre circle. And straight down. Now the speed of all these manoeuvres should be consistent. So the speed of the lift, speed of the drop, speed of the manoeuvre should all just be the ticking clock. Alright, so a full pirouette up to 4.5 meters. Now he's do that laid 8 with pirouettes. And he always have to go kind of backwards first. So if the model is pointing to the right, he has to go left. So that's the first half. Up over that flag, climb another 2.5 meters, so he's now at 7 meters. And then descend back down to 4.5 meters to finish the first circle. And now do the same thing, but changing direction with the pirouette. A 360-degree pirouette while descending. And the speed of the descent, the speed of the pirouette should be consistent. Kiss the ground. Right, that's the hovering done. I really apologise for the quality of the aerobatic coverage here, but this is just a phone, and it has to be in portrait mode. And if I try and zoom in, it's going to get really jumpy. Yeah, I instantly lose it. Try and zoom in a bit. Climb, stall and pirouette at the same time. Now do a forward flip and pull out. Not sort of thing you want to do if you're inside a helicopter. In fact, none of these manoeuvres you should do while being inside it. Right, Cuban 8, but inverted, so half roll. Outside loop. Dive to the ground, do a half roll, do another full loop. Dive to the ground again, half roll, pull out inverted, and do a half roll. Now the inverted triangle. So come in, half roll, climb at 45-degree angle, upwards. That's the one side of the triangle. Now push it over the top, come across, do a full roll, and then come down the other side of the triangle, inverted. So let's put a 3 angle, pull out, level, inverted, then do a half roll and out. Super manoeuvre. Next manoeuvre is supposed to be 3 rolls. Roll 1. Roll 2 that direction. Roll 3 that direction. I know it doesn't come across too well in this video because of shaking and field of view's terrible. At least we can kind of see it. So this is inverted umbrella with half rolls. Climb, do the half roll, pull backwards, do a half loop, do a large half loop. So, I do apologise, this is terrible camera work. Half roll, and then out. Final manoeuvre, auto rotation. So it's a backward tumble and then a three-sided box on the way down. Cut the motor, auto rotate downwind, cut across wind, come into wind, and it's the circle. But good attempt. It is so hard to do that. They're just checking now for the angle of the landing because the model should land in the line of the course. If it's twisted, it's a down mark. If it's not in the circle, there's a series of down marks. That gives you a good idea about how big these things are. Each one of those blades is 750 millimeters. So it's 3 meters plus the head block. So it's what, 3 1/3 meter rotor diameter. Ian at the front, the caller and pit pitch for the day. And there's a happy Steve. Is that happy Steve? Let's go and interview Steve. See how happy he is. Steve, interview. How happy were you with that?
Not very. The aerobatics went a bit wayward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elucidate. How was the Q&A?
Okay. Came in a little bit.
Came in. It is blowing in.
It wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And possibly slightly downwind.
What's the technique of the Q&A? How do you approach? When you're coming downwind, you're pulling a loop. Yeah, which obviously you haven't got the wind to help you the lift, so that half is dictated by your speed.
Yeah, I think whatever size you make the first one, either you've got to force it across out on speed and carry it through.
Okay.
And then you'll have to then try to adjust the second one into wind.
With the model descending,
size it,
rolling.
How big the first one was.
Yeah. Tricky stuff. Well done.
Thank you.
One more round to go.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll leave you with that.